Good afternoon, everyone. This is Blowback here. I'm at my home range on the north coast, British Columbia. And I just want to make acknowledgement to Rifle Chair for continuing to run this event and his promotion and advocacy for gun owners and shooters. So appreciate everyone that's taken the time to organize this, to Rifle Chair, Tudeman, and his other administrators that are helping to keep this event running smoothly. So just a little bit of background. I've worked with Rifle Chair in various capacities for many years, and in fact his own father was instrumental with myself and other dedicated volunteers to have built this facility in 2009-10 and continue to improve it and make it what it is today. So just want to say to everyone that wants to be involved, get out and work with your local gun clubs, shooting ranges, join national shooting advocacy groups such as the CCFR, and continue to lobby for your rights to own, use, and enjoy your firearms. So for today, I'm going to be shooting the Winchester Model 70, which needs very little introduction to many of you. I do want to point out a couple of features of this particular rifle. It was produced in March of 1941. So it makes this rifle this month 78 years old, and it's still a very strong shooter and performer, and I'm hoping I can keep up with it today. The one interesting point with Model 70s, if you're not aware, is pre-war models came equipped with clip loading slots in the receiver. So the Model 70 is a evolution from the Model 54, and many features from the famous Mauser 98 were copied and some improved upon. And in the pre-war models, they included the stripper clip loading rails, and that feature was discontinued after the war. So transition rifles from 1946 and on did not include stripper clip loading slots in the receiver on the majority of the models. So that's one distinguishing feature of this rifle. And second, a little bit of history. The U.S. Army, as most people should be aware, on December 9th, 1941, the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor brought the United States into World War II, and shortly thereafter they found themselves lacking and inequipped for battle rifles and sniping rifles. They were relying largely on their leftover Model 1903 Springfields, their P14, P17s, all chambered in 30-06, such as this rifle. So in, I believe it was May 1942, Winchester supplied the U.S. Army with, I'm just reading here, in May 1942, Winchester provided the United States Marine Corps with 373 Model 70 rifles, all equipped or chambered in 30-06. And those rifles were used for sniping efforts, and they showed up in training camps and field use during the Pacific Campaign. So they were 24-inch sporter barreled rifles, and were fitted with leaf sights, checkered stocks and butt plates, 1-inch leather slings, which we have today, and some of them were equipped with 8-power Unerdal telescopic scopes, and they were used as sniping weapons in Guadalcanal and during the Korean War. And then many of the rifles were later reconditioned with heavy Douglas barrels in the mid 50s to allow the Marine Corps to shoot competitively with those rifles. So and later the United States Army purchased 200 new Model 70s in medium heavy barrels, again in the mid 50s, and again those were used during the early years of Vietnam, and many of them saw combat and were used as sniping rifles. So just a bit of backstory there and some history. So this rifle here, virtually a year after its production, same rifles were used by the United States Marine Corps in World War II in the Pacific Theater. And this is a beautiful piece. The wood on it is exceptional for a standard grade rifle of that period. And you'll find that after the war, after literally tens of millions of rifle stocks were made from blanks, the quality of the walnut went down in many places around the world. And to find a stock of just this display, you'd probably have to get an exhibition grade or a double A grade piece of walnut just to match what they were putting on standard rifles before the war. So again, beautiful example of a pre-war Model 70, equipped with a period correct Lyman WJS 48 receiver sight, and all pre-war Winchester Model 70s did not have the rear bridge drilled and tapped. Just the front receiver was, so scope mounts were used that incorporated the front sight dovetail boss and the front receiver tapped holes, as well as some scope mounts used the drilled and tapped holes on the side of the receiver where this aperture sight is mounted. So we're running, basically a period authentic Winchester Model 70 that again was used by the U.S. Marine Corps in World War II, and we'll be loading stripper clips today that are used in the 1903 Springfield rifle, and we'll see if I can perform as well as I know this rifle is capable of. So using all Winchester component hand-loaded ammunition today, and we're going to be shooting with the open sights at 100 yards on the 8-inch official rifle chair cabin fever challenge target. So my video skills and editing aren't what many of yours are, so I'm going to keep this video running. You're going to get the raw footage, and I don't want to miss or lose any video. And I do want to say that it's a big challenge. I think for the cabin fever challenge is just getting everything together, all the logistics, reloading, time, opportunity, weather conditions. And my hat goes off to all the guys that went out and shot in some very adverse weather conditions, the extreme cold and deep snow of the winter. So appreciate everyone's efforts, and shortly here we're going to get shooting.